Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Operation Fulda Gap Global War 85, the NATO turn 7.2. Alright, let's get right into it. According to our handy dandy sequence of play, the first order of business is to make damage repair decisions. And if you've watched Flak 88's last video, 7.1, you know that the dastardly commies did 6 points of damage to minor army base in Benelux and 5 points to the minor army base in Picardy. But I am not going to repair either one of those at this time. Okay, so the next order of business is tech. I still have 2 tech dice for the major army bases in Paris and southern England. And this time we are going to put both dice on the seed technology to try and complete that. And to do so, we need an 8 or better. There's an 8 and a 9. Either one will do the job. Okay, so seed is complete. That is going to make a difference. You will see why in a bit. Okay, the next thing we do is purchase. So we had, I believe it was 43 to spend is what we had. So we're spending 20 on 2 artillery and 2 rocket artillery. We are spending, 12 on 2 MBTs and 2 SPAGs, 4 on 2 paramilitary, 4 more to finish the cruiser that was on the build chart, 3 on a SAM. That's all of our money. And then we are building 4 cruise missiles and 2 anti-ship missiles. Okay, the next thing is combat movement. There's going to be a little bit of combat. Not a bunch, but a little. So the first thing we'll start with, since we are right here, is our diesel electric sub here in I-7. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 spaces down here to I-1, where it is going to engage the Soviet diesel electric submarine that is down there wreaking communist havoc. The second thing we're going to do I think you can see here. Maybe we zoom in just a little bit so you can see just a little bit better. There we go, that works. Okay, the major air base here in Marmara is going to fire a cruise missile, 1 into Greece, 2 into southern Yugoslavia, and 3 into northern Yugoslavia, where that missile is going to be targeted on the minor army base. Warsaw Pact still does not have anti-missile defense, so there will be no defensive shots taken. Okay, next up, the major shipyard here in southern France is going to fire an anti-ship missile 1, 2 spaces at the Soviet fleet, Soviet Warsaw Pact combined fleet here in M6. Okay, the next thing, I've already done the combat movement and moved units over to the battle board so as not to bore you with that kind of stuff. But we are going to do a surgical strike on the combined Soviet and Warsaw Pact forces in Veneto. So we had this strategic bomber started over here in Paris, flies 1, 2 spaces here to C-Zone M3, where it's going to shoot 2 cruise missiles, 1, 2 spaces, into Veneto. The major airbase here at Lazio is going to shoot a third cruise missile one space into Veneto. We are doing this surgical strike with spy satellite support, so the cruise missiles already attack at their full value of 5, but any hits will be land target select hits. Okay, then also up here in Paris, we had 3 attack bombers, 1, 2, 3, into Veneto, and they will be firing battlefield nukes. There were 3 fighters in Paris, 1, 2, 3, into Veneto. There was a fighter in southern France, 1, 2 into Veneto. 2 fighters in Lazio, 1 space into Veneto. And down here you can see the damaged supercarrier in M2. It had an air superiority fighter on it, which was 1, 2, 3, also into Veneto. Now, since I have completed the suppression of enemy air defenses technology, I am going to use that ability in this attack. So the air superiority fighter and 2 fighters will be escorting the strike package. The other 4 fighters will be suppressing or attempting to suppress enemy air defenses. Okay, and then we have a combat move. It's technically a combat move that doesn't involve any action, but ASW patrol stuff has to be done in combat. So this ASW chopper in M2 is going to change his patrol station over here to A40. He'll be flying along with this ASW chopper that was already there. They're both conducting their patrol from the minor airbase in Extremadura. And then we have one more combat up north here. You can see there is a NATO SSN here in A15. Okay, we're going to use polar Arctic Circle movement again. So we're going to take him. He has movement bonus from the minor shipyard here. So he goes 1 into A2, 2, 3 to go off, 2, 3 to go off the north edge of the map. And then he's going to come over here, spend his 4th movement point to re-enter the map at A8, and he's going to shoot 2 anti-ship missiles at the small Soviet fleet here in A9, which consists of a destroyer and a frigate for surface vessels. Anti-ship missiles can't target submarines, obviously. Okay, so that's our combat movement. Now we're going to resolve some combat. So the first one we will do is the anti-ship missile against the fleet in M6. Now they do get to have that fleet is on this card over here. It consists of a supercarrier that has an ASW helo, 1 cruiser, 2 destroyers, 1 frigate for the Soviets, and then there's also a Warsaw Pact frigate there. So the cruiser has fleet defense responsibility for missiles, so it gets 1 AMD shot, and then it can pair frigates 2 to 1 for 2 extra AMD shots for a total of 3. They're looking for a 4. And they got it with a 1. So the anti-ship missile over here is shot down, no joy. Okay, the next attack we will do is the facility strike into northern Yugoslavia. Now that one, let me double check. I think I know, I just don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah, facility strike is a D2. That's what I thought. So, there's no AMD for this strike. It just, the missile goes in and gets to hit. Okay, that's a 2, which is going to be 1 damage. So let me go get the marker. And there we go, 1 damage on the minor army base in northern Yugoslavia. There it is, 1 damage. Okay, next thing, we will do the surgical strike in Veneto. Now I've got to place my guys over here because some decisions had to be made. So we've got these guys. I put it on the battle board just more to keep track of what I'm doing as the attacker. Okay, those guys. Yeah, they all. That's 4. Okay, now I'm straight. The advanced air superiority fighter and the 2 fighters that were flying escort, I'll show you. I put in the retirement box because they don't have any aircraft to shoot at. And they can't shoot at ground units in a surgical strike unless they're running SEAD. But I only designated 4 fighters for the SEAD mission. So these guys are in the retirement box, and Captain G decided to have his SPAG and his SAM both shoot air defense. Now, what's going to happen here, this might be a little convoluted, but it's the way it works. So my cruise missiles go in first, and since he chose air defense, there's no defensive shots going against them. So I got 3 cruise missiles looking for 5 or less. And look at that. Do you see that? That's 3 hits. Yeah, that's like way, way better than I was even dreaming. Okay, so we've got 3 first strike hits. So what we are going to do is we are going to kill these 2 artillery, and we are going to kill the 2 artillery and we're going to kill the SAM. Now the SAM, let's see. No, actually I'm not going to do that. Put the SAM back up there. I'm going to kill this mech instead. Because now what happens is the SEAD mission comes in and fires, and any hits they score on the SAM or the SPAG, if either unit is hit, it does not get to shoot air defense. This, that's why I said this is a little bit quirky. It's not how things normally work, but it's the procedure we do for this. So we got 4 seed fighters coming in. And we have 3 hits, more than enough. So both the SAM and the SPAG come off. They do not get to shoot. So now I have 3 attack bombers coming in. These purple dice have been pretty good. Let's keep using them. We have 3 attack bombers coming in. To shoot. To shoot battlefield nukes. Triple attack dice. So here we go, and he's got 2 units left, a paramilitary and a light infantry. So here we go. Well, there's 4 hits, 5 hits, 6 hits. Wow. If he had the place just jammed full of 2 complete field armies, I wouldn't have got a single hit. But since it's just a few guys, everything's gone. Now, of course, that was an airstrike. I don't get to capture the territory or liberate the territory. But all of the Soviet Warsaw Pact forces present were eliminated. Okay, so next we go to the anti-ship missile strike in A9. So there's no AMD there because they don't have a cruiser as part of their little task force. So the frigate does not get a defensive shot. This time, we probably shouldn't change up, but we're going to try navy blue. So we got 2 anti-ship missiles at 5. And they're 2 hits. Wow. I couldn't do this again on a bet. So let's see here. We've got task force marker with a red ring around it, which is this card right here. So the destroyer and the frigate come off. The subs are still there. Okay, I believe that is the end of combat. Let me double check here and make sure. Oh, no, it's not. I did that. We got one more combat, the one down here in I-1, the Battle of the Diesel Boats. Now, Captain G has elected to defend, so we will do navy blue and communist red. And they're each looking for a 3. Yep, there's a 1 by the NATO die, so diesel electric sub comes off, and the minor port there at Durban, South Africa, is no longer blockaded. Now that's the end of combat. Okay, non-combat movement. Let's get this over here because this is where a lot of it's going to take place. We got air to land. Okay, we can see everything there. So first thing, the strategic bomber came out 3, goes back 3 to land in Paris. The 3 attack bombers, also the attack bombers have a range of 8 plus 1 for the major army base. So out 3, back 3, they can make it back to Paris okay. Then the air superiority fighter has a range of 6. It went 3 to get in there. It's going to fly just 1 more to land at Lazio. And we had 2 fighters that came from Paris. They went 3 spaces. So they have 2 more, because they have a range of 4 plus 1 from the major army base. So 3 fighters are going to land here in southern France. That's the extent of their range. Okay, and then we had 1 fighter that came from, we had 1 fighter that came from southern France. He went 2 spaces, so he's got 3 left. And then we had the 2 fighters from Lazio that went 1, they got 4 left. Those 3 are going to land here at Lazio. All right, that's all the air we have to land. Now, we are going to go like this, so you can see it. Up here in A17 at the major shipyard in southern England, we have a supercarrier. It's going to come out of port. It has the movement bonus, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to A40, and is going to go back in port at this minor shipyard at Cadiz, I think is probably where that is. So he's in port there. Next, we have the damaged supercarrier in M2 has to get to a shipyard to get repaired. So he's going 1 space to M3, and he will go import here at Marseille to effect repairs. So there's that. Okay, now, as long as we're still down in this part of the world, here from Marmara, we're going to take 2 MBTs and a SPAG, and we're going to go 1 space next door here to Garrison, Greece. And then up north, right here, we are going to take this SAM from Scotland and move it south 1 space to provide some air defense for the Midlands. And then there's another one up here from Denmark. Using the major port, we are going to sea lift 3 units to the major port here at Benelux. So we're going to take a mech, rocket artillery, and SAM and transfer those to Benelux. I'll pretty this up off camera and change that, but I'm not going to take up your time with that. Okay, let me check my notes here. I believe that is it for non-combat. Yeah, that's it for non-combat. Okay, now we're going to place some units. Let's just start right here. So we are putting 2 MBTs and 2 SPAGs and 2 paramilitaries into Lazio. Now the new rules regarding SPAGs are they have to be built with and placed with a vehicle class unit. So the 2 MBTs get built there, the SPAGs get built right alongside them. They do not use any production capacity from the minor army base. And then we get 2 paramilitaries in here. These can be built anywhere. They don't require an army base. So that's the additions to Lazio. Now they're at the major shipyard in southern France. We are going to build our cruiser in port. So he'll be berthed next to the supercarrier waiting to get repaired. Knock something over. Huh? Okay, now we have this stuff that goes up north. Okay, here in Paris, we are building the 2 artillery and 2 rocket artillery. And again, I will clean this up off camera, but those are in Paris. And then up here, we moved that SAM down to the Midlands from Scotland. So we're going to build a replacement SAM at the minor army base in Scotland. Right. I don't think we're doing too bad. Okay, that's all units placed. We have to come over here to the chart. Battlefield nuclear fallout goes from 2 up to 3. And I have to collect money. My missiles I don't need to place because I produced the same number of missiles I shot, so the totals up there are still correct. In inventory now, I have 4 cruise missiles and 3 anti-ship missiles. So money, our base income is 45 at the moment, minus 4 for destroyed oil tankers, puts 41 in NATO's bank. And I think that's it. Ozark Outpost, over and out.